Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. All right, I'm gonna try to make this quick. Certainly, my lighting demands it. But hey, great to see you all once again. Great to be seen by you. Thank you for checking me out again. I love you all. Thank you for helping to continue to build this movement and keep this word spreading. Please continue to do so. Like, share, subscribe so we can keep this building. What? The worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. All right. So listen, this is quick but important. We're all getting to the point where we're starting to pretty much understand what's going on, right? The methodology that is utilized by the socio-economic elites is rather apparent, right? We just need to make sure that in our minds and our awareness, we keep it sort of on a review, a reviewable sort of pain in our minds, right? Where we can encapsulate all of this, compartmentalize it might be even better, and keep it organized in our minds, right? So we understand what's being attempted to be done to us so that we can counteract it, because we can do so when you understand it, overstand it, and understand it, right? Then you certainly have the ability to easily prevent it from being successful, right? So to control you, what do they do? Is what we want to understand. And, you know, really the main thing to control you is a three-step phase, right? First, they shrink you, right? Then they ultimately attempt to keep you in a state where you are not really actualizing your full self or your best self, as we're starting now all wish to understand that we seek. One of the, I guess, more popular ways to do this is to really control your concept of a higher power, which is of course done through the religious systems. By doing that, you already are externalizing yourself to a entity, a concept, and a belief system that tells you that you are separate from the Most High, right? When in fact we're not. We're all connected to the Most High. Everything that is in existence, and especially human beings, right, on a spiritual level. But understanding that empowers you, and that goes against the objective, which is for them to keep you in a state of continually externalizing your power, right? Then the next thing they do, once they've shrunken your concept of yourself, right, and your own power, your power to control your reality, and gotten you into a mode, so to speak, of externalizing your power, then the next thing they do is scare you, right? By having you immersed in an entire fear society that causes you to focus on, accentuate, and live in all of your fears, right? And even provide you through external sources, usually multimedia, which they all control, external sources of fear, right? By the multitude. Constantly, this society, from entertainment to education to every institution that affects our daily lives, constantly feeds you fear, right? It's the main course, right? The du jour. Really, it is a tool that not only is effective in its design, which is to get you at your lowest frequency and keep you there, but it also, because they do hit you with so many external sources that they control, they have a map, right? They know what your fears are. They have a map on how to control you by using your fears, right? So just through the first two steps, they've gotten you to shrink yourself, your concept of who and what you are, right? They've gotten you in that process to externalize your power, right, to a belief system, a deity in a belief system that they control and have in fact designed to keep you in a state which is less than yourself, right? Um, and this is very shrewd methodology. It's been effective for thousands of years, right? Um, and then by very carefully, right? Um, and I say carefully because they do these things over time, right? And by doing them over time, they're less noticeable, right? Um, which is how they build this entire how they have built this entire fear society right around us, and we not pay attention to it, right? Um, so by the time they've gotten you through step two, now they've gotten you down to your lowest vibrational frequency state, immersed in fear, right? And they also have the map on how to control you by using and understanding all your fears because they feed them to you, right? Not to mention all the devices and technology that are constantly mapping you and creating an algorithm based on all of the feedback or input that you willingly constantly supply to them. Constantly. Every time you're agreeing to these terms and conditions, which I'm getting myself to a point where I'm not going to even do that at all anymore, right? I'm rapidly getting to that point. Every time you use these apps and devices, you know, you're subjecting yourself to these things, um, which gets them right where they want you to be for step three, which step three is divide and conquer, right? Um, Now they come in, they give you an enemy, which in the United States specifically for the longest has been this racial divide that is seeped into every institution of our lives, right? And it showed up in very powerful ways in all of them, especially, well, in all of them, really. I was going to say, especially in education and and economics, but religion, every institution of our lives, right? Um, Races have been pit against each other purposefully, just as nations are purposefully pit against each other, and wars are fought purposefully. That's right, folks. Wars are fought purposefully for those who benefit and profit from wars. Um, you know, Namely the military-industrial complex, but ultimately the International Banking Consortium, um, all the major players, right, uh, who are part of this web that we call the hidden hand, this web of secret societies interwoven with massive corporate entities, right? interwoven with world governments, right? Um, interwoven all the way down to a neighborhood level. It's just that, and that might sound to many, oh, that's a huge conspiracy there, Big King Sadiq. Well, when you get a true, accurate picture of how widespread this is, and if you think about it, in order to be as successful as it's been for thousands of years, you've got to have that sort of infiltration on every level, and they do. But us understanding it now is the key, and being free-thinking, independent-minded individuals who now have the strength, right, who have grown out of the box that they've placed us in, right, through step one, and are no longer externalizing our power, right, being individuals who are no longer fearful and who choose love over fear, right, crushing step two, and who are no longer divided, but now denounce separation mentality and seek more so for unity consciousness, right? And balance along those lines, crushing step three. So we can, as I say, easily thwart this now that we understand exactly how it works, right? When you understand what's being done to you, you can much more effectively counteract it. We do now, so let's do that, right? Let's just understand what's being done, and just as I described, do sort of the opposite, right? And keep ourselves sovereign and liberated and united, right? And thinking forward with unity mentality, and for the good of the collective, for all of us to be fine, right? That's a thing that's kept us in a very competitive mind state as well. That crabs in the barrel mentality, where in order for me to come up, I have to push you down. We got to get out of that. We don't have to push down our neighbor in order for us to all live well on this planet. It's designed that way. This entire planet is designed for us to live well. So let's do that. Let's just be mature, and let's not let the myopic, immature, spiritually immature paradigm that these socio-economic elites want to hold on to be our reality. Let's keep our focus on the reality we want to see, and that is a reality that is forward-thinking, along the lines of peace, love, respect, right? So that we can be spiritually mature and have our sovereignty, our freedom, right? And ultimately our unity on this planet, right? We can do that, and we can have a beautiful high vibrational frequency of peace, love, respect, and we're pushing that wave, right? And how are we doing that? By keeping it strong and building what? I'm gonna say it, the worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq, I love you all. Please like, share, subscribe. Let's keep building this movement. And now that we know what's going on, and really are all starting to come to some level of awareness on that, right? Those who are going to this lifetime, right? Because we understand now that there is a separation. There are those who simply are not going to wake up right now in this lifetime, and those who are. So those of us who are, hats off to you. I love you, right? Let's not look down on those who aren't, right? Not at all, no judgment. And let's celebrate one another, though, right? And let's look forward to the future, and let us be that impressive, right? That once we understand what's going on with us, it is no longer effective. And we can do that and bust up that whole the last little remnants of the old paradigm, and usher in our new paradigm, right? By building what? The worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. All right. Big King Sadiq, I love you all. I'm out.